Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here today. I decided that this time I'm going to put on my Dr. Holistic hat a little bit here, and I'm going to do a video version of my blog post, How to Boost Your Immunity. I got a lot of questions about that, and I wanted to, especially for those of you who would prefer to see a video as opposed to reading, I got some things to show you. At the very end of the video, I'm going to show you a few of the supplements and things that I use in our family. I feel very strongly supplements are not where I start. And so I want to talk about the other things that I think are really important to get our immunity strong and keep our bodies working really well. But I will show you what also, in addition to the things that I'm going to talk about that we use here, or at least some of it, it's just me that I use, but I'll show you what I give my kids too. But having said that, even though I'm doing the video here, if you want a lot of the details, some of the things that I do a little bit more the description about, go to ajourneytowholeness.com and check that out, because there's a little bit more detail in some of that blog post. Is called How to Boost Your Immunity. It's really hard to do all of the discussion here on video with the same kind of level of instruction I did in writing. So you might want to see that too. Even if you get a lot of information here, you might get even more if you go ahead and read the blog post too. So ajourneytowholeness.com. Make sure it's ajourneytowholeness.com. So let's get started. The very, very first thing I want to talk about as far as boosting immunity, because the immune system is an amazingly complex system that works really hard all the time. Your body has multiple levels of defense against disease. Your skin is one of them. Your gut, your intestines are another. And your mucous membranes, your eyes, nose, mouth. Although we think of them as, oh, those are the ways that the virus gets in, because that's what we're all concerned about right now. It's also a way to keep viruses and bacteria out of the body. That's why we have tears and mucus and things like that. So those places are all places that our body uses to fight off disease and to keep the invaders out. But one of the things that happens is we can have so many things overloading the system that we can make our immunity less powerful. So the number one thing that I want people to think about as far as boosting immunity is to manage your stress. That is a very big deal right now with all of the stuff that's going on. All of the uncertainty that we are now feeling is front and center with the COVID-19 virus. Many people are struggling with their level of anxiety and stress. So common ways that I like to work on de-stressing that are constructive are getting out in nature. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in detail in a minute. If you want to see some of that, it's even this week, I wrote a blog post on taking a moment, so that using nature to really help de-stress and calm the mind. If you also want to get some practice with thinking and breathing, go back to some of my previous videos, and those will help you to practice some of that on your own. Another thing that I find really, really helpful is prayer. Exercise is great. I know that we can't go to the gym right now, but getting outside and walking definitely can do that. And if you go with your neighbors, you've got a social distance, but if you go with your family and you're all in the same house, you can walk just right in a little group together. Another thing I find really helpful, because my brain wants to bring up lots of thoughts and lots of ideas that sometimes are constructive, sometimes aren't. And the way I can sort them out is by journaling. You can definitely do that on your device, but also the practice of writing by hand is very helpful. It slows your mind down because it takes longer to actually write than it does to think. The other one I find really, really helpful, and I have to do it regularly, is intentional breathing. And I did a whole video on that. I'll do another series coming up. I'm going to do some mindfulness breathing exercises coming up, and I'll do a series. But right now, there is a video for you to check out on breathing. Number two, big issue here is sleep. Sleep is absolutely critical at keeping the immune system at running at top function. And I don't mean medicated sleep. I don't mean, I passed out in front of the TV and I slept really hard. I'm talking about a good schedule, regimen, going to bed around the same time each night, getting up around the same time each morning, regardless of the day of the week. And we used to say that people couldn't make up sleep, so that naps weren't really all that helpful and you just needed to get all the sleep you needed each night. Actually, that's been proven not to be true. You can make up sleep. So when I'm on call at night and I don't get a good night's sleep or I'm not sleeping at all, I definitely get naps. I definitely try to make up sleep whenever I can. But the best way to keep sleep regimen is to most nights do about the same time bedtime, about the same time waking up in the morning. You will feel better if you're able to do that. The other big thing, and I'm going to show you some of my new acquisitions, is whole foods. You've got to eat whole foods. The less processed, packaged stuff, the better. One of the things that I know we're all doing is trying to limit our exposure and not go to the grocery store every other day like I was doing before. And so for some people, depending on where you live, you may be able to access a community supported agriculture or CSA organization where they will drop off a box at your house that you buy into their crops for the season, and they give you a portion of the harvest. We have a farm nearby named Fry Farm, and it's a little drive, but they will do pickup, and so they put the pre-done box that you've ordered outside of the gates. You come, pick it up. We're not doing any contact right now, and we have fresh fruits and vegetables. And I got to show you, this is a bag of super fresh spinach. I kid you not. She picked it the morning we got the box, and this is going in a soup later today. No doubt. I am cooking the spinach, and I might just put some of it in the juicer. It's beautiful. So how else? Okay, let's say you don't have access to a farm or a CSA and you are trying to do more raw food, trying to do more whole food, but it's, it takes a lot of work if you're not thinking in advance. Shortcut that I put in one of my old blog posts is make yourself a salad ahead of time. Put it in a Ziploc. When you need salad, you want to put some lettuce on a sandwich or something that you're making, grab it. Done. Super fast. And I have taught the kids how to chop vegetables, and half the time I have them making the salad for us. So, whole foods, raw foods as much as possible. Get those, enzymes from the vegetables and the fruits, more vegetables than fruits, but also, lots of vitamin C in whole food form is good. I'm not a huge fan of most juices, especially the ones that come prepackaged and pasteurized, because I just don't think they have the benefits that whole juice or really the whole fruit does. But, having an orange, the clementines are everywhere now. Have some of that for yourself.